T&D Sports, an exclusive video broadcast.
Hijacked planes crashed into Pentagon, a field outside Shanksville, Pennsylvania, and into both towers of the World Trade Center in Lower Manhattan. Almost 3,000 souls were lost that day. Many among them brave first responders that rushed to rescue those they could, without thought for their own safety. The attack and subsequent collapse of the Twin Towers shocked the nation and the world. But in these darkest of hours, the bravery of the men and women who were the first responders to the attack, and to those who resisted, shone a light on the fortitude and resilience that we as Americans strive to embody. There are those among us tonight who have personally lost someone, and many more of us that know someone affected by these attacks. Let us please remain standing in silence as we honor the memory of those lost that day. And please let us direct our attention to the Marine Corps Junior ROTC Color Guard as they present the national colors. Please remain standing as Sinead Buckley leads us in the national anthem.
Oh, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleam, whose broad streets and bright stars through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we watched, were so gallantly streamed, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
T&D Sports Video Productions presents the Orlin Cohen High School Football Game of the Week. Today it's the Wolverines of Newfield High School in to take on the Lindy Bulldogs. Hi, everyone, and welcome to Lindenhurst Middle School in Lindenhurst for today's T&D Sports Production High School Football Game of the Week. My name is Mike Trezza. I'm joined by John Schiavone. John, let's talk about this Newfield team. They've been building under Coach Adler for the last couple seasons, actually making the playoffs last year, losing in the first round by just a point. What do they need to do to stay on the field this evening with Lindy?
They need to get as aggressive as the Bulldogs. They have to go up and challenge them on every single play and beat them on the line of scrimmage.
And for Newfield, one of the players we're going to be keeping an eye on is number 2, Dylan Smith, the senior wide receiver.
Now, Dylan Smith is going to be the rescue valve for this young Newfield quarterback. He's got hands, he's got speed, he's got athleticism. You're going to see him run all over the field today.
You see Dylan right there at number 2 in the middle of your screen. Let's talk about Lindy for a minute or two, John. Really good success over the last decade under Coach Lombardo. What do they need to do to get themselves on the win column in this young season here tonight against Newfield?
What they need to do is what Coach told us both on our telephone call yesterday. Get physical, pound the football up the field, and pass when it is appropriate to pass.
And for Lindenhurst, the Bulldogs, Mr. Do-It-All is number 1, Chris Carson.
Chris Carson, once again, number 12, he's on your screen. You need to watch that kid because he is fast, athletic, and he's strong at the line of scrimmage. He is great target, 5 yards out, in the slot, and down the field. He's a danger everywhere.
We're going to step away and be back with the opening kickoff and all the action right after this on T&D Sports Video Productions.
Jump shot, leave your knee shot? We've got specialists for that. Face down after that face off? We've got specialists for that. Half pipe, leave you full of pain? We've got specialists for that. Orlin Cohen's top orthopedic team has specialized expertise and extensive training from the nation's premier programs in sports medicine, knee, shoulder, hip, spine, hand, foot, and ankle, so you can feel better, faster.
Experience, trusted, proven, excellence. Over 20 years of professional sports video production, the industry standard, T&D Sports Video Production. Whether it's a single game, a whole season, or a college recruitment video, T&D Sports is your one-stop video solution. T&D Sports Video Productions. All sports, all levels, all the time.
Just about set for the opening kickoff from here at Lindy Middle School. Mike Trezza, John Schiavone. It'll be Jack Mazziotti, number 49, to kick off for the Bulldogs. Petit Frere and Smith are back to receive. Newfield in the white will move left to right here in the first. It's Smith. He gets it out across the 25 before he's banged down.
And that was great coverage, surrounded the runner, made sure he had nowhere to go, and brought him down at the 25-yard line.
Sean Sullivan, John, first-year starter, will start at quarterback for the Wolverines, and we'll see how often he's able to get it outside to his speed guys, Petit Frere, number 1, and also Smith, number 2.
I mean, Smith and Frere on the outside are great, but remember, Smith can move in the interior as well. He's a useful weapon both on the slot and on the outside.
So Sean Sullivan, number 4, he'll start out of the shotgun. One running back to his right. Takes the snap, Fakes the handoff, goes around the right side. Nice tackle that time by Dominic Artali.
Dominic Artali saved about a 20-yard gain. That was a great play action fake by Sullivan. Got to the outside, but unfortunately, one player was there to stop him. 4-yard gain, 2nd and 6.
Sean Sullivan's coach, Coach Adler, called him a dual threat during the week. He's got several running backs that he'll go to, as well as a few receivers on the outside he's going to try to get it to. So let's see what they can do here on 2nd and 8. Pickup of 2 on that last play. He's got Xavier McGee behind him at running back. Hands off to McGee. McGee is stopped quickly.
Right at the line of scrimmage. That offensive line broke down right there. They overrushed one side, and the O-line picked up where they were going. They just couldn't stop it. They had somebody extra there to block. It just didn't work out.
I think it might have been Carson in on that tackle.
Carson is all over the place, like we said in the beginning of the game. He's also a two-way player, also a defensive back, getting in there to make the stop.
Just underway here, first quarter, no score. Newfield on the drive, now facing down to 3rd and 8. Did not pick up a yard on that last play. McGee still in the backfield. We've got a whistle. Timeout, Lindy.
Lindy needed to call that timeout. They got basically stuffed on 2 different plays. They read where the defense was going in their blitz packages, their run blitz package. They read the defense. It just didn't matter. They were not able to block.
So Coach Lombardo spends one of those timeouts early. He's looking to get a quick stop and get the ball back.
And now we're set up to see if we could do some damage here. And Newfield is ready.
9:45 left in the first after that big gainer to Kenny Petit-Frere. He really reached out and grabbed that one away from the defender.
And Dylan Smith was the one that threw the ball, does everything.
Here's Dylan Smith. Nice gain along the right sideline, but he's stopped by Aribo, number 53.
Aribo caught him right at the 30-yard line. He was one of 2 players that could have caught him. Did a good job, wrap tackle Smith while Smith was trying to juke out of the way. He should have just kept going to the sideline. He might have beat him, but he had to try to make the little move to cut up front. Didn't work out.
So short gain on that play, pickup of 2. That's going to bring up a 2nd and 8 from the 25-yard line. We're inside 9 minutes left in the first. Both Petit-Frere and Smith to the near sideline. McGee still the running back. Fake the handoff. It's a keeper for Sullivan. He's got some yardage along the right sideline. Once again, it's Dominic Artali on the stop.
Dominic Artali has been all over the field. He's been spying on the quarterback. Once again, prevented an even bigger gain, possibly saved a touchdown. But I've got to say, Sean Sullivan so far has shown poise in the pocket. He has shown the ability to take a bad play.
That's going to be holding on the offense. We neglected to mention our officiating staff at the beginning. Our referees, Kyle Coyne, head linesman Tom Coyne, line judge Cruz Pearsall, back judge Brian Coyle, and umpire Lou Grenga. So after that holding call, it's going to bring up a 2nd and 18 now from the 35-yard line. Petit-Frere in motion. They give it to him. He spins his way for a little bit of a gain, and then is gang tackled.
And they're still behind the original line of scrimmage that they started when they made that big play. Once again, it's 3rd down. Once again, Sullivan has to pull something out of his back pocket to gain a whole bunch of yardage. But we've seen them do it. We've seen them do it so far today. So you can't, if you're the Bulldogs, sit back and say, oh, it's a lot of yardage for them to get the first down. No, you have to defend this play.
Petit Frere in the slot this time. Dylan Smith, the receiver, to the near side. McGee once again in the backfield with Sullivan. 3rd and 11. Sullivan takes the snap, looking for room along the left sideline. He can't quite get there, and he stopped well short of the first down.
They got back to the original line of scrimmage. Now, if you look at the defense of the Bulldogs, what they did was they crowded around the first 10 yards, around the line of scrimmage. There wasn't anybody in the backfield and doing cover anything. They literally made sure to contain anything that the Wolverines were trying to do.
So this is going to bring up a 4th and 11 from the 28. Coach tells me he's got a kicker that can get it there, but from 45 yards, it's going to be a tall order. So they'll just go for it on 4th and 11.
Sullivan's gotten the yardage before on a big play. Let's see if he can do it again.
We've got a whistle before that play can develop. It might be a false start on the Wolverines.
Youthful exuberance. That's the thing. Youthful exuberance, nerves. They got one big play. Now they're trying to follow it up. And as a young team, as something you would expect from them in the beginning of the season, penalties, loss of focus. They got to get really into this game, though. They got a great opportunity. Don't waste it.
My suspicions were correct. Confirmed by Kyle Coyne, our lead official, as he signals false start. And Newfield has to back up 5. Brings up a 4th and 15. Sullivan drops back, looking near side. He bounces it, looking for Petit Frere.
Sullivan saw shadows behind him. He had great protection. He had a great amount of time to get the ball where it needed to be. Bounced it because he just didn't realize that he had that extra second to put a little more oomph on the ball. Also, 15 yards and penalties in the first drive, that's going to stop you no matter how many big plays you get.
So the Bulldogs will go on offense for the first time. They take over on downs at their own 32 with the 1st and 10. 6:07 left in the first. No score from here at Lindy Middle School. Mike Trezza, John Schiavone.
Let's see what the Bulldogs do here. We heard from the coach a lot of physicality is to be expected.
Christian Caponia will take over at quarterback this year. He hands off on first down. Nothing doing. As a matter of fact, a loss of a yard or two.
And that's because the Wolverines stacked their defense. There wasn't anybody beyond 5 yards from the line of scrimmage. Running it up the middle into that pile, I'm surprised they didn't lose more than just a yard.
Mike Kierkowski, number 77. He's just a junior, but he's the big guy. Excuse me, on both the offensive and defensive line.
I mean, you got to watch. You got to make sure. You got to be physical.
2nd and 11. Here's Campagna looking near side, and the flag comes in. The cover guy, Chris McDaniels, got there just a second or two early.
Yep, and he knocked him down. Pass interference. And we got the replay. Let's take a look here. Snaps the ball. And they throw and, was making the move before the ball even arrived. Knocked him down, gave him no chance to catch that ball. Pass interference.
I believe he was looking for Christian Aquino on that play. So Lindy gets a first down on the penalty.
They move it up to the 45-yard line on the penalty.
1st and 10 from the 46. Campagna works out of the shotgun. Hands off, left side. I believe it's Brady Dolan on the carry. Gets 2, maybe 3.
Off-tackle runs, when you're trying to play physical football, really messes up the defensive line of the other team. gains 4 yards, great scheme, great blocking. This is Lindy offense. This is what they expected to do all game long.
2nd and 7 for the Bulldogs from the 49. Campagna doesn't see anything and takes off. He's got the first down and more, and finally he's dragged down from behind.
17-yard game. He waited in the pocket. Take a look. Waiting in the pocket, sees the hole develop up the middle and just goes straight. Just goes straight, gets to his opponent's 39-yard line. Time to see what the Bulldogs could do. They have one penalty on this drive too. Can they stay focused and complete this drive and get 7 points?
James Mara made the stop. 1st and 10. Now from the Newfield side of the field at the 39-yard line. Handoff goes to Gio Tarte, and he picks up 4 or 5.
Almost 8 yards. If you look at where they're placing it, it's about the 34-yard line. So this gained about 5 yards there. And you see the work that the offensive line is doing. They are pushing players out of the way. They're not being too aggressive. They're not trying to pancake people. They're just making sure that their running backs and their quarterbacks have great lines of sight.
2nd and 5. Keeper dragged down from behind was Campagna. It was Gavin Smith, number 7, on the stop. Are they saying he lost the ball?
Well, we're going to find out. Let's take a look at the replay. Here's Campagna. He gets hit. Oh, yep, the ball came out before he hit the ground. The ground did not get the ball out. This should be Wolverine ball. We're waiting for the referees to tell us something.
Yeah, no, they are saying that is a turnover. They're sending the ball back over to the Wolverines. They'll take over. 1st and 10 from their own 37.
So
3:17 left in the first quarter. No score.
So the Wolverines, 2 penalties that caused them not to score a touchdown. And the Bulldogs, 1 penalty and a turnover. So far, both teams showing a lack of focus.
Here's Sullivan. Sullivan near side. Picks up a couple. In on the stop for Lindy is number 70, Taron Musillo.
So when you took a look at the play so far, Lindy is winning the battle on the line of scrimmage. Their offensive line is pushing their defensive line around, and the defensive line of the Bulldogs is pushing the offensive line of the Wolverines around.
Sullivan gained 4 on that last play, so it brings up a 2nd and 6. Chris McDaniels, the receiver, to the near side. Quick outlet. Petit Frere quickly right about the line of scrimmage. Maybe he picked up a yard.
Maybe a yard, maybe 2 yards, but you see what the Bulldogs defense did there. They created the tiers of the field basically behind the line of scrimmage, being tier 1. So a 5-yard pass, 5 yards back from the line of scrimmage is only going to gain 2 yards. So when you force the offense to play from behind the line of scrimmage and not at the line of scrimmage, even if you're going to get a gain, it's going to be minimal.
3rd and 5, inside of 2 minutes left in the first quarter. No score. Newfield with the ball at their own 42. Petit Frere in motion. Sullivan drops back. He's pursued. He's almost dropped. And now he's going to be sacked by 3 guys. Finally, it's Ian Webb who comes over to put the finishing touches on it.
Take a look here. On the right side of the offensive line, it broke down, and Sullivan moved to where the blitzer was coming from. He didn't run away from the blitz. He ran towards it, and that's what caused him to get gang tackled by 4 players.
They lost 12 on that play, so now Jaden Forth
This is a game of the trenches like we said before.
Fourth, one of the linemen comes into punt. Let's see what kind of leg he's got. Fourth hits a good punt. It's fielded by Carson. Carson, another move, a spin move. He's out close to the 45, and finally he's banged down by a host of tacklers.
You know what? Gaining 7 yards on that when he had 2 tacklers that were pretty much guaranteed to stop him when he caught the ball. That is great athleticism. That is great, amazing footwork. And you know what? The Bulldogs so far, even though it's nothing to nothing, they seem to have dominated on each side of the ball. Turnover, be damned. But, you know, what they're doing is dominating the line of scrimmage, and the work they're doing now is going to show at the end of the game.
We're inside a minute, 41 seconds left in the first quarter, no score. Lindy on the offense now for the second time. Here's Capagna, throws short, looking for Chica, the tight end. He can't get it to him.
You know what? That was a decent pass, hit him right on the hands. Unfortunately, tight end dropped it, had pressure on his back. Second down.
Evan Chica, the big tight end, 6'3", 230. At that size, if you can catch the ball, John, you're going to get some looks from some colleges.
Yeah, you're going to get looks from colleges. Hell, you might get looks from NFL scouts trying to scout you early if you're that big.
2nd and 10. Capagna keeps looking for room inside and doesn't find a lot. He picks up maybe 3 on that carry.
But once again, you're seeing the work that the Bulldogs offensive line is putting in. They're grinding, and you see a little bit on the defense. You're bending over, some heavy breathing. This is what the Bulldogs want to do. They want to grind you out. They want to tire you out.
I don't think they'll get another playoff. We're down under 5 seconds. By the time they get set up at the line, that is going to be the end of the first quarter. So our score, after 1, Lindy nothing, Newfield nothing. We're back with more right after this on the Orlin and Cohen High School Football Game of the Week.
Jump shot, leave your knee shot? We've got specialists for that. Face down after that face off? We've got specialists for that. Half pipe, leave you full of pain? We've got specialists for that. Orlin and Cohen's top orthopedic team has specialized expertise and extensive training from the nation's premier programs in sports medicine, knee, shoulder, hip, spine, hand, foot, and ankle, so you can feel better, faster.
Experience. Trusted. Proven. Excellence. Over 20 years of professional sports video production. The industry standard. T&D Sports Video Production. Whether it's a single game, a whole season, or a college recruitment video, T&D Sports.
Welcome back, everyone, to Lindenhurst Middle School. Second quarter underway. Capagna back to pass, and he is crunched. We've got a flag down on the play as well.
So Capagna gets crunched, possibly throws illegally to an offensive lineman, but do you know what? Better to give up penalty yards than a sack. As we take a look to find out what's going on here, all the referees are converging in the middle of the field. So he takes the snap, and he's running into the blitz package. He's running towards the white jerseys and away from the green ones. Not a good call there.
The D-line, the Newfield, got through Lindy's offensive line really quickly on that play and caused a lot of havoc.
Well, they're calling holding on the Bulldogs.
No, I actually think that's illegal touching.
Well, hold on. Here he goes. Holding on the offense. Penalties declined.
I thought the ref tapped his shoulders, which would have been illegal touching. But you're right, John. It's holding.
And we saw an illegal touch. That was declined as well.
Okay, so that was the confusion. We cleared that up.
2 penalties, not just 1.
And nearly a sack as well. So nothing good happened for the Bulldogs on that play.
Not at all. Not at all. This was the first bad play from Campagna, though. Didn't see where the blitz was coming from.
Well, they'll punt it away. Fair catch is made by Dylan Smith after the punt by Chico.
I mean, Dylan Smith saw the coverage coming from the left side. I thought he had a hole to his right that he could have been able to go forward, but smart move, call the fair catch, don't risk a turnover, and trust your offense and your quarterback to do their job.
So we talked about it, John. Early season jitters, first game, short practice season this year. Both teams look like on the offense, they're not really settled in yet.
No, they're not, but the good news is both defenses seem settled in, and both offenses are playing aggressively. So eventually they're going to find a kink in the defense, and you're going to see some scoring take place in this game.
Newfield on offense for the 3rd time. Sullivan's got McGee with him. Sullivan looking down the right sideline for Smith. Smith can't hold it in.
And that was great.
He made the playoffs last year, lost in the first round, 14-13. Coach says his team has to learn to win those kind of games like Lindy does.
I mean, well, you're getting a great classroom lesson right now against the Lindy Bulldogs. Let's see if the Wolverines can finally capitalize on a close game and get it done in the clutch.
2nd and 10, Newfield from the 30. Again, he's looking for Smith, and this time he has it. He makes a move around one guy, and he's finally brought down inside the Lindy 35.
If you're the Wolverines, why would you leave Smith one-on-one for the 2nd play in a row? And look at how fast he goes down the field. Probably about a 40-yard gain right there.
Smith is tall, he's athletic, and he just out-leaped the guy covering him, John.
And he also gets behind the guys covering him. The problem with the Bulldogs right now is instead of playing behind Smith and preventing him from getting further yardage, they're trying to intercept the pass in the air, and that's not working with a guy like Smith.
So 2nd long pass play completed by Sullivan. Sullivan takes the snap. Here's the handoff to McGee. No, actually, it was Petit Frere.
And he just went 20 yards. Look at that. We need a replay on that because it looked like he handed it off to McGee. Here, watch it. And McGee almost loses the football, and Frere takes it from him and gains more yardage. That is such field awareness, such awareness of what's going on in the play.
Not only did he fake out the whole defense, he faked me out as well. I thought McGee had the ball.
I didn't see it. That's how good that was.
1st and goal from the 9. Here's Sullivan. He takes it himself, and he's down to around the 5-yard line. Pickup of 3 or 4.
This is where the Bulldogs thrive. Red zone defense. The coach talked about toughness, and he talked about how his linebackers need to get with the program. That was the one area he was most concerned about. So far, so good for the linebacking core of the Bulldogs. Let's see if Newfield can punch this in.
2nd and goal from the 6. Sullivan angling for the sideline. He can't get it in. But he's
Carson.
close. He's down to the 2 or 3.
Carson again on a stop. He is everywhere on the defensive side of the ball.
It's going to bring up a 3rd and goal from the 3.
I only saw 1 or 2 players behind the pile trying to push the pile forward. There needs to be more support from the Wolverines offensive line in play situations like this. Let's see if they're going to go for the touchdown or the field goal here.
Sullivan's still out there, so I'm going to assume they're going for it on 4th and goal.
I mean, this is a defensive game. To get 7 points right now in a nothing-to-nothing game would be such a mental advantage.
4th and goal from the 2. Lindy jumped early, and that's going to be half the distance penalty.
And do you know what? Sullivan made a great hard count. After that penalty, you saw him celebrate a little bit.
That's going to move the ball down inside the 1 with the 4th and goal.
Physicality, physicality, physicality. The strongest team at the line is going to win this play.
Sullivan, hands off, and they stop him short of the goal line.
And the Bulldogs win the battle of the trenches again. This could have been a big, big, big touchdown. Let's watch this replay. Frier's going to get the ball, and he's going to cut up, and he's going to get stopped before the line of scrimmage. The Bulldogs just got in the backfield, stacked one side of that offensive line, and bum rushed it. And when you send more players than there are blockers, you're going to stop the play.
That's got to be frustrating for Coach Adler to get down to the 3. You get a penalty, you get backed up to your 8. He gets it all the way down to the 1 on a Lindy penalty, and they can't get it in on 4.
And now we got 1st and 10 backed up.
Handoff on the right side. Not a lot of yardage, but a couple on 1st down for Lindy.
The thing that the Wolverines can still hang their hat on is that they are winning the field position battle so far this game. Lindy has had to start deeper in their own territory than Newfield has had to start, and now they're backed up at the game come to them instead of trying to anticipate when the ball is going to be snapped, because you could then easily be fooled by the other team's quarterback. You can't jump the gun here.
You saw Jaden Forth, big number 66 on Newfield, throw his hands up in the air, so he's a little frustrated as Lindy now gets a 2nd and 4. Again, they pounded up the middle, and again, it's a short gain.
They got to get distance from the end zone here. I mean, the first thing you need to do is to get away from the end zone in case if it's 4th down, you need to be able to have enough room to get a punt off. Second thing they need to do is try to pick up this 2 yards. It's a very gettable 1st down for the Bulldogs, especially with the way that they've been playing in the trenches.
They picked up 2 on that last play. It'll bring up a 3rd and 2. Now from their own 9-yard line, 7:11 left before halftime. Again, they hand it off inside, and this time Newfield stopped, and the crowd to our left affirms that for us.
Newfield won that battle. They won that battle in the trenches. And the Bulldogs, I mean, they've been winning the game in the trenches, in the offensive and the defensive lines. But finally, Newfield does what they're supposed to do. They get the stop when they need to get the stop. And now, like I've said before, they set themselves up for a half-field scoring drive. Can't get any better than that if you're the offense.
So Lindy actually lost 4 on that last play, so it's going to be Evan Chica, the tight end, to punt it away.
And he's got a short way for the defense to go. They got to get this ball off quick.
So timeout before that punt can get off. Dylan Smith was standing there on the Lindy side of the field at about the 45.
I mean, the deal is this. Newfield has a chance to possibly stop a punt and get a touchdown. The distance between the punter and his line of scrimmage, being as they're so far back in the field, is so short that you could expect a defensive lineman to come there and challenge the kick. We got 6 minutes and 12 seconds to go in the second quarter. I'm John Schiavone, along with the voice of TD High School Sports, Mr. Mike Trezza, and we're waiting to find out what is Newfield going to do to defend the punt. What are the Bulldogs going to do to protect their punter so that he can boom it as far down the field as possible? This is where we're at right now. We're in the red zone. Nothing. Mr. Trezza, what do you think is going to happen here?
Well, what I do notice is that Chica looks like he's banged up on the near sideline. It was he who punted earlier, but it was pointed out to us that it is going to be Mazziotti, the kicker, to punt it away this time. Once again, as we mentioned, Dylan Smith, now he backs up a little bit. He's at the Lindy 32, 33-yard line. Wow, they almost block it.
They did tip it a
up.
bit.
And Newfield is going to get fantastic field position here.
And that's because of what just happened here. Take a look. The defensive line got the edge rusher to tip the punt. Also, the snap was slightly off, making it that Mazziotti had to literally try to get the ball off as fast as he could. Couldn't avoid that blocker.
So a special teams disaster for Lindy. Gives Newfield great field position. They're going to start 1st and 10 from the Bulldogs' 16-yard line.
You know, we were talking about a half field scoring drive. Now the Bulldogs are back to where they started. Their backs against the wall, 15 yards in the red zone, about to give up a touchdown. Let's see if Sullivan can finally get the job done and punch it in. Smith has been quiet today except for that one reception and that one pass.
Sullivan will work out of the shotgun. He's got McGee to his right. He keeps it himself, looking for room up the middle. He doesn't find much.
The Newfield linebacker, number 77, Mike Seeger. I'm sorry. That would be Mike Kurowski. He watched, he spied, he waited to see what the quarterback was going to do, and the second he saw the handoff, plugged the hole, made the tackle.
Christian Claremont was in on that last tackle for Lindy after a gain of 3. Sullivan again out of the gun. This time McGee to his left. Keeps it himself around the left side. One man to beat, and that man brings him down. It's Fred Meza.
Meza saved a touchdown.
Oh, actually, it's Brady Dolan on the stop.
Oh, yes, that is Dolan, number 2. But look at this. Breaks one tackle, and, you know, Meza did a great job because if he didn't catch it right there, it was end zone.
So quickly, 3rd down comes up for the Wolverines. They're at 3rd and 6 from their 13.
But the Wolverines have been able to convert on 3rd down today.
Sullivan with Mara in motion. They're after him, and they sack him. Big number 77, Mike Seeger on the sack.
Seeger was involved in 2 big tackles in this drive. And this sack is a perfect example. Let's take a look. Sullivan once again running away from his protection instead of staying in the pocket, and figuring out what to do with the play. He ran right into that sack.
Let me correct myself. It was number 70, Taron Musillo, with the sack on that play. So now it'll bring up a long 4th down, and Newfield is forced into burning a timeout.
Newfield needs to figure out what they're going to do here. Are they going to go for it on 4th and 19, or are they going to kick a field goal?
So, John, let's take a look at some of the other action happening around League 2 Suffolk this Friday night and also tomorrow.
Okay, we got Northport at Smithtown West at 6 o'clock. Center Reach at Conticote at 7. And Newfield at Lindenhurst. Obviously, this is this game that we're watching right now. At Division 2, we also got Huntington at North Babylon. We got West Islip at Hollow Hills East. Copeg at Smithtown. And West Babylon at Bellport.
Right here, we've got a good one. Not a lot of offense, but as John mentioned earlier, a lot of good defense. Newfield and Lindy in the season opener, our season opener here on T&D Sports Video Productions. 3:45 left before halftime. Mike Trezza, John Schiavone from here at Lindy Middle School. And they're going to go for a field goal here. It is Jaden Forth, as we mentioned, one of the linemen, but also grew up in South America, a soccer player. So let's see if he can get it done here. They're in there to try to block it, and he shanks it to the left side. Good pressure that time by the Lindy defensive line.
Yeah, he had the distance. It just went far to the right, but the Lindy defensive line pressured the kicker, made him, shank it to the left. He was looking at the lineman and not the uprights.
Jaden Forth, he saw that pressure coming, and I think he felt the need to get it away really quickly.
Let's take a look.
He just sent it left.
Ooh, that was great job reading when the snap was coming by that defensive lineman. That edge rusher did an excellent job to disrupt that kick. Otherwise, it was going to go through the uprights. And we have another turnover on downs. And now here come the Bulldogs at the 20-yard line. Finally, some decent field position in the second quarter.
1st and 10, Lindy from their own 26. Capagna. He's got one running back each side. He hands off. They try the left side this time, and they pick up about 4 on the carry.
Great offensive line play. Once again, the blocking of the Bulldogs has been superior. Their play in both interior lines has been superior so far. And that's what you get when you have physical offensive line play. You can gain 2, 3, 4 yards and keep the momentum going instead of having a 1-yard game or a 1-yard loss. That's what good old line play does.
Are the 2 big guys on that offensive line. They're the 2 two-way players on the line. So once again, Capagna has a running back each side. He hands off. They try the right side this time. It's Dominic Artali, and he picks up about 4.
Artali's leg is feeling better, obviously, picking up 4 yards, making it a 3rd and manageable for the Bulldogs with almost 2 minutes left to go.
3rd and 2 from the 27. No score, 2.5 left before halftime.
And it seems the Bulldogs are content to run the clock down. They know they're getting the ball at the second half. They want to get 14 points on 2 possessions in a row.
Lindy calls a timeout. We're going to step away and be back with more action right after this. This is the Orlin and Cohen T&D Sports Video Production Game of the Week.
Jump shot, leave your knee shot? We've got specialists for that. Face down after that face off? We've got specialists for that. Half pipe leave you full of pain? We've got specialists for that. Orlin Cohen's top orthopedic team has specialized expertise and extensive training from the nation's premier programs in sports medicine, knee, shoulder, hip, spine, hand, foot, and ankle, so you can feel better faster.
Experience. Trusted. Proven. Excellence. Over 20 years of professional sports video production. The industry standard. T&D Sports Video Production.
Third and 2 coming up, and we've got movement on that offensive line. That's going to turn a 3rd and short into a 3rd and long for the Bulldogs.
You know, in halftime, both coaches are going to sit their teams down and have a nice long conversation about discipline before the snap.
Calm and cool, right?
Calm and cool. That's what you got to be. Football's an emotional game. It's a hard-hitting game. But the key is to contain that emotion. It's to contain it and let it explode on the field. And for that, you need focus. You need discipline. Both teams seem to be making the same mistakes, and that's why we're at 0-0.
So let's see if Campagna's willing to put it up here. He's got Carson near side. Gets it to Artali short, and they're all over him really quickly. Christian Smith on the stop.
And all game long, they've been trying to go to the right side. And all game long, it's failed. They're over-rushing the right side. It seems like they know where the Bulldogs are trying to go. It seems like they know exactly where the Bulldogs are trying to go. They're overextending the right side of the line. And they're getting to the quarterback, and they're moving the play backwards.
4th and 12, they'll kick it away. Smith over there thought about fielding it and then moved away from it. Lindy will touch up on the Newfield side of the ball at about the 47.
They're starting on their own side of the field this time. This is bad position for the Wolverines comparison to where they've been starting the last couple of drives. But once again, Newfield has gotten it close, but the Bulldogs have shut the door every time. I think the Wolverines have been in the red zone 3 times. 3 times, no scores.
1st and 10, Newfield from their own 46-yard line, down to 1:23 left in the second quarter. From here at Lindy Middle School, Mike Trezza, John Schiavone, T&D Sports Video, high school football game of the week, our season opener. Season opener for both of these teams. Here's Campagna. He's looking to put it up, and he overthrows the receiver. He was looking for Brady Dolan down the right sideline. We got a flag coming in late.
Sullivan did a good job to get the ball out, but unfortunately he's underthrown his receivers. And this is the second time he's underthrown his receiver.
We've got pass interference called against Lindy. What a break for Newfield. I didn't think that ball was catchable.
I didn't either, but then again, the interference could have happened before the ball came out. Let's take a look. Now, Sullivan gets the snap. The snap was low. He throws it up in the air, and you see they're not looking. Number 21 was not looking for the ball, and he contacted the receiver. In high school, that's going to get called every single time.
So 1st and 10 for Newfield. Sullivan looking deep, left side this time. He's got a receiver open. Petit Frere had it for a moment, and they knocked it away from him.
Great defense by Fred Meza. He was all over the field. This is the second big play he's been involved in. Take a look. Here's the pass by Sullivan. Perfect right where Freer could get it, but there's Meza, and I believe that was, Dolan Brady on the coverage. Both knocking it out of Freer's hands. Freer did not concentrate on receiving the catch. He was looking to go upfield for the touchdown, and that's what happens when you don't pay attention to the ball going into your hands, and instead you're paying attention to where you're going to run after you catch the ball.
2nd and 10 from the 39. Just over a minute to go before halftime. Sullivan again out of the gun. He's looking right sideline. He gets it to Dylan Smith. Smith makes a couple moves and gets the first down.
Smith's second catch today. That was about a 16-yard play. I think the other play was about 16 yards, so 2 catches for 30 yards. And don't forget that 40-yard bomb that Smith threw in the beginning of the game. So Smith, so far, 70 yards of total offense. He's been all over the field. The Bulldogs have to contain him. They have to find where he is on the field, and they got to make sure they got 2 players around him at all times. He's been the one player on the Wolverines besides Petit Friere that has been burning, and I mean burning, the Bulldogs defense.
So Newfield will have a 1st and 10. They're now at the Lindy 24. They've knocked on the door a couple times this half, John, but have not been able to get on the scoreboard.
Because the Bulldogs' physical style of play. The closer you get to the end zone, the less field they have to cover, and that means the more players they can send at your quarterback. And as you've seen so far, Sullivan has been running into the pressure and not away from the pressure. He's not working with his offensive line. I think he's misreading some of the things that he's seeing on the defensive side of the ball, and he's acting on things that have been showed to him. This is why the Linden team has a lot more experience. They know what they're doing in situations like these, and Newfield's learning.
1st and 10 for Newfield from the 24. Sullivan, a quick rollout, throwing for the sideline and completes for another first down.
That's Smith again. That is Smith again, and they're trying to rush to the line. Wait a minute, refs are calling timeout.
Are they saying he got out of bounds, or are they continuing to wind the clock?
Nah, it's a first down. And I think Newfield found what to do. The Bulldogs are in a zone. Newfield's finding where the holes in the zone are and getting those little 10-yard passes to Smith again. Look at what they're doing. Smith is the guy that they call on at the end of halves, at the end of games, and so far he's coming through. But we've seen the Wolverines here before.
Lindy had to clock it that time, so I should say Newfield had to clock it.
Take a look at the replay, and you see him catch it right out of the air, 1 foot inbounds, both feet inbounds.
And you see the official come over and say, wind the clock.
Yeah. I think both feet were inbounds, though.
So it is going to be a 2nd and 10. Now from the 14-yard line. We're down to 46 seconds. Here's Sullivan. Throwing end zone, and he overthrows the receiver, looking for McDaniels.
McDaniels slowed up for a second in the route. I don't blame the quarterback here. McDaniels slowed up in the route for like a half second, looking for where the quarterback was going to throw the ball. That cost him. Take a look here. Here's number 3. There he is. He did that little move in the beginning and just couldn't get to his spot on time.
Why would you slow down right there, John? You have your guy beaten.
Exactly, but he's looking back at the quarterback because, you see, this is at the beginning of the season. There's not enough chemistry between the two yet. A couple of games in, that's going to be a touchdown every single time.
3rd and 10 from the 14. Sullivan throwing right side this time. It's a diving catch by Smith. Did he get his feet in?
I don't think so. Not a catch. It looks. We're going to go to replay here. And let's take a look at this play. Here's Sullivan. Sullivan throws the out route. Smith did not read the out route. He did not cut on time. Incomplete pass.
So it's going to bring up a 4th and 10.
20 with about 35 seconds left or so. They got to score this game. They got to score it right now.
No, they're going to go field goal right here with Jaden Forth.
That's a mistake.
We saw he missed on the last time. They have put a good rush on him. Forth gets it up, gets it in, and gets Newfield on the scoreboard.
3-0 Wolverines, and they have been doing a great job getting into the red zone. When you get into the red zone, good things happen. Even if you get stopped at the 1-yard line, your opponent's pinned. Even if you get stopped at the 15-yard line, you're getting the kick. And look at the accuracy and look at the blocking on Newfield for that kick. They learned their lesson from field goal attempt number 1.
33-yard field goal by Jaden Forth. Breaks the scoreless tie, puts Newfield on the board. Lindy will have just under 32 seconds to work with to try to get something going here.
And Lindy has to put aside the frustration they must be feeling right now. Because let's be real, from end to end, in my opinion, if you look at the physicality, Lindy has been controlling this game. Lindy has been controlling the pace of the game. But Newfield scoring 3 points and being ahead right now, that must be eating at the Lindy Bulldogs players. We're going to need to see if Campagna can get a big drive down the field. And once again, can he air it out? We're going to have to find out. Remember, Lindy has an opportunity to score twice. They could score now, and then they get the ball back to start the second half. So they need to respond to this field goal right now.
It'll be Forth to kick off. Carson and Artali are back to return. They keep it away from Carson wisely, but unwisely, he kicks it off out of bounds. So Lindy is going to start at the 35.
You know, the one word I could use to describe the first half is discipline. And in some cases, the lack thereof. It takes discipline and focus to not jump on the O-line. It takes discipline and focus to not commit a holding penalty. It takes discipline and focus to kick the ball inbounds. This is stuff that both teams have to work on. And, you know, both coaches have to speak to their teams about this. They need to get more focused, both of them.
Lindy brings it in tight. I think they're just going to sit on this snap right here. 1st and 10 from their own 35. They caught the break on the kickoff out of bounds, but it doesn't look like they're very interested in doing anything right here. Just 32 seconds left.
32 seconds is a long time.
Yeah, but they're going to let that opportunity go by the boards, and this first half is going to end Newfield 3, Bulldogs nothing.
And you know what? The one thing that the coach of Newfield said to us is that his team needs to learn how to score in the clutch, how to get those points at the end of halves, at the end of games, to push them ahead. So far, so good for the Wolverines. Even though the Bulldogs have dominated the line of scrimmage, they've controlled the pace of play. None of that matters if you're behind on the scoreboard. And that's what the coach of the Bulldogs needs to explain to his team.
So we're going to step away and be back with some halftime coverage right after this. Newfield leads Lindy 3-0 at halftime.
Jump shot, leave your knee shot? We've got specialists for that. Face down after that face off? We've got specialists for that. Half pipe, leave you full of pain? We've got specialists for that. Orlin Cohen's top orthopedic team has specialized expertise and extensive training from the nation's premier programs in sports medicine, knee, shoulder, hip, spine, hand, foot, and ankle, so you can feel better faster.
Experience. Trusted. Proven. Excellence. Over 20 years of professional sports video production. The industry standard. T&D Sports Video Production. Whether it's a single game, a whole season, or a college recruitment video, T&D Sports is your one-stop video solution. T&D Sports Video Productions. All sports, all levels, all the time.
selections from their show, Rise of the Machine. It's the Lindenhurst High School Marching Band.
Jump shot, leave your knee shot? We've got specialists for that. Face down after that face off? We've got specialists for that. Half pipe, leave you full of pain? We've got specialists for that. Orlin Cohen's top orthopedic team has specialized expertise and extensive training from the nation's premier programs in sports medicine, knee, shoulder, hip, spine, hand, foot, and ankle, so you can feel better faster.
Experience. Trusted. Proven. Excellence. Over 20 years of professional sports video production. The industry standard. T&D Sports Video Production. Whether it's a single game, a whole season, or a college recruitment video, T&D Sports is your one-stop video solution. T&D Sports Video Productions. All sports, all levels, all the time.
We marveled at our own magnificence as we gave birth to AI. Artificial intelligence. A singular consciousness that spawned an entire race of machines.
And we're back. The Friday Night Lights High School Game of the Week from TDSportsVideo.com. My name is John Schiavone, and I want to introduce the host, Mike Trezza, the voice of TD Sports. It's 3-0 Wolverines over the Bulldogs. Mr. Trezza, it has been a hardcore, knockdown, drag-out fight.
It's been fun, John. It's been pretty much what we expected. Defense is a little bit ahead of the offenses. Both offenses having a little bit of trouble with turnovers. Both offenses having a little bit of trouble punching it in. And finally, it was Newfield on their last possession who finally got it in with a field goal, 33-yarder by Jaden Forth, I should say, to put the Wolverines on the board 3-0.
And let's check out the Wolverines. And number 1 and number 2, the two wideouts, they've been getting it done all game long. Dylan Smith at the end of the second quarter is the reason that Newfield has the lead they have, along with Petit Frere, who has made some big, big plays down the field.
You know, John, you spoke about the need to sort of rein in the emotion of the kids on the part of both head coaches. I thought it was interesting in speaking with the coaches before the game that Coach Lombardo seemed very, very relaxed. Coach Adler, on the other hand, seemed a little bit more intense. Which do you think is going to be the better halftime approach, going into the locker room and then setting up the second half coming out of the locker room?
Coach Lombardo for the hometown Bulldogs. Him being confident, him being laid back is the best approach, honestly, to coach a high school football team, especially one that has the pedigree that the Bulldogs have. Be calm, be easygoing, and that translates to your players, and that translates to their ability to perform well in the trenches. Coach Adler's intensity, however, isn't necessarily a bad strategy either, because you know what? They were getting beaten up and down the field all game long up until the end of the second half. That last 1 minute was the one time the Wolverines were playing with a bit of fire, that they had the advantage on the line of scrimmage, that they were fooling the defense, and they got the 3 points. So
we see the Lindy Marching Band, perennially one of the top marching bands in the area, finishing up their routine. Speaking of Lindy, John, what do the Bulldogs need to do a little bit better here in the second half to put themselves on the scoreboard and put themselves in good stead to try to win this game?
They need to continue the good things that they're doing. The good things that they're doing are this. They're controlling pace of play, they're controlling the line of scrimmage, and they're winning the battle in the trenches. That's going to translate in the fourth quarter. But the one problem that the Bulldogs have had is that when it's third down and they've had opportunities to stop the Wolverines from gaining field position, the Wolverines will pop out a 30 or 40-yard play, change the field position, get down to the other side of the field. And then all that effort that the Bulldogs have done to control the pace of play, control the line of scrimmage, just gets wasted on one 40-yard play.
One of the things Coach Lombardo seemed a little bit unsure about in speaking with him during the week, John, was who was going to grab the mantle as the number 1 running back. Is it too soon for him to move away from Artali and try some other guys back there?
You know, to be honest, Campagna has a good set of legs on him. I've seen holes that Campagna could have taken advantage of. Campagna likes to use his legs to drive up the field. What the Bulldogs need to do is they need to just keep driving forward. They need to stop going to the outside and run up the middle, pass up the middle.
We're going to step away and be back with the second half right after this. You're watching the Orlin and Cohen High School Football Game of the Week right here on T&D Sports Video Productions.
Experience. Trusted. Proven. Excellence. Over 20 years of professional sports video production. The industry standard. T&D Sports Video Production. Whether it's a single game, a whole season, or a college recruitment video, T&D Sports is your one-stop video solution. T&D Sports Video Productions. All sports, all levels, all the time.
Jump shot, leave your knee shot? We've got specialists for that. Face down after that face off? We've got specialists for that. Half pipe, leave you full of pain? We've got specialists for that. Orlin Cohen's top orthopedic team has specialized expertise and extensive training from the nation's premier programs in sports medicine, knee, shoulder, hip, spine, hand, foot, and ankle, so you can feel better faster.
The moon over Lindenhurst Middle School as we wait to get the second half kicked off. Our halftime score, Newfield 3, Lindenhurst nothing. Season opener for T&D Sports Video Production, season opener for the Lindy Bulldogs, as well as Newfield. Mike Trezor on hand along with John Schiavone to bring you all the action. And we talked, John, a little bit at halftime, super long halftime here, by the way, about what each team has to do a little bit better here in the second half.
You know what? What both teams have to do better in the second half, and it's the same thing for both teams. Discipline, calmness, and executing the plays as they are drawn up, and having a little bit of better field vision, knowing what the defense is going to do. I think both coaches have sat their team down and said to them, look, this is what's not working, this is what is working. Let's go out there and do the things that work. It's practically a tie game right now. Anybody's game.
We've got to mention a couple of the peripheral things, that beautiful moon right to the right of our booth. That is the south side of the field, both teams coming out. We got to mention the guys on our crew doing a tremendous job. Tom Bruno, our chief gorilla, Jamie Burkhart, our cameraman, Dave Stempel, and Evan Laurie, both doing a tremendous job on our crew here this evening.
Got to thank our technical crew. They are the best in the business, and that's why we, TD Sports, are the best broadcast in high school football today.
This exclusive broadcast is being brought to you by Orlin Cohen Sports Medicine. We thank them very much for their sponsorship. 15 locations in Suffolk and Nassau. If you've got a sports injury, they have a specialist for that. We are looking forward to bringing you games of the week every week for the next 6-7 weeks, as well as a couple playoff games come playoff time here on Long Island this year.
And let me tell you guys, if you're having fun listening and watching now, wait till the games get serious.
Yeah, we want to promo our next game, John. Next Friday night, Massapequa will host Syosset in Nassau County.
We'll be going on the road to Bellport and playing Bellport next week. So both teams on the road next week. It's important to get this game today.
Both teams back out on the field. Getting ready for this second half to kick off.
And you see the language, the body language of the Bulldogs. Nice, easygoing, relaxed, walking around, laughing, having fun. And conversely, look at the Wolverines. They look intense. They look like they're trying to go for the kill. And in about 30 seconds, we're going to see if they can get the job done that their coach Adler has said that they needed to learn how to do. Win a close game.
There you see Coach Lombardo on your screen, instructing his troops.
And Coach
As you
Lombardo,
mentioned, John, he's nice and calm, nice and cool.
and the thing that Coach Lombardo is telling them is that they've done great work in the first half. 3-0 means nothing right now, because in the trenches, in terms of pace of play, the Bulldogs have controlled this whole dance. Newfield's been forced to play the Bulldogs game, not the other way around. However, Newfield's doing a great job playing the Bulldogs game. But now the Bulldogs get the ball to start the second half. That's why that 3-0 isn't so bad. If the Bulldogs could score now, we're back to the situation that we started this game in.
It's Fernandez to kick off. Very short kickoff. Oh, it looked like Newfield was trying to swoop in for the recovery.
You know, that's better than kicking it out of bounds.
Yeah, they were trying to pull a little trickery right there. It wasn't clear whether it was going to be Jaden Forth, the normal kicker, or Fernandez who was going to kick it off there. It looked like they both kind of converged. Fernandez kicked it short, and one of the Lindy players had to just pounce on it. So Lindy's going to get good field position here. They'll start 1st and 10 from their own 37. Third quarter just underway here from Lindy Middle School. Mike Trezza, John Chavoni. Handoff is on the right side. They pound their outside, the right side.
That's about a good 3-yard gain right there. And the offensive line going back out and doing what they've done all game long. Win in the trenches, get 2, 3, 4 yards of the ground.
Nick Rose on that carry. So they're searching for answers in that offensive backfield. He picks up 2 on 1st and 10, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 8. 11:20 left in the third.
This is
Newfield
what I
on
mean.
top by a field goal.
Yep, this is what I mean by pace of play and controlling the pace of play. The Bulldogs gain 2 yards, 3 yards, 4 yards, and it keeps momentum going.
Campagna under center, rolls right, looking right. He gets it to Chica. Chica's down the sideline. He's at the 15, still on his feet. He scores!
Touchdown, Evan Chica! Unbelievable. Campagna finally got where he needed to go. Look at the celebration. And here's the replay. And he gets that ball. And look at the blocking. Oh, flag on the play. That could be an illegal block in the back. That touchdown might come back.
It is coming back.
Illegal block in the back.
Oh my gosh, what a shame.
You know, Campagna got to the outside, and for the first time, the Wolverines didn't catch him on the outside of the field, thereby giving him a chance to throw to the open receiver in the middle of the zone.
Evan Chica, the big tight end, was wide open. And as you saw, he made a couple nice moves. Got himself down the right sideline. We'll take one more look at it.
And this is what happens when you run physical plays to start the
Gavin
game.
Smith that came over, tried to push him out of bounds at the end, but he couldn't get the big tight end out.
No, he couldn't. But do you know what? The play went back. So, lucky break for the Wolverines there. Bad luck for the Bulldogs.
Why is it still 2nd down? 2nd and 8. Campagna. Gets Carson. Carson makes a move. He's down the right sideline. He breaks a tackle. And he's brought down from behind by Mapp.
And you know what? I think the Bulldogs have found the weakness in Newfield's defense. It's the second level.
Chris Carson missed a do-it-all. He did it all on that play. Nice catch. And then got the wheels going down the right side.
And look at that. Unbelievable. Great job going down the sideline. Again, they're working the right side, and now they're working the outside of the defense.
So the Bulldogs have come out firing, and that one is going to count. They're down to the 18-yard line with a 1st and 10.
But we've seen this before. Can the Bulldogs punch it in?
Campagna fakes the handoff, keeps it himself, right sideline. He bowls over the would-be tackler, Christian Smith, and gets a nice gain.
And you know what? This time, unlike the first half, he's following his blocker pattern. He's getting to where he needs to get on the field in order to utilize what his blockers are giving him. 5-6 yards down the right side of the field. They've been attacking the right side. Newfield needs to watch out for that. And here we go again. Trip set.
Chica's in the slot. Carson on the right sideline. Campagna tries to get it short. It goes off one receiver and into the hands of another Bulldog for a completion.
That's Mike Seeger. Seeger, the defensive star. You know, he makes up for the missed catch, gets the ball, and drives it forward a couple of yards.
We've got a penalty flag down on the play.
Might be an ineligible receiver. I doubt Seeger is listed as a wideout here.
No flag because the ball was tipped. No penalty on the play, so that completion is going to count.
Seeger must be really happy. I mean, he got an offensive reception this game. Good for him. Many linemen don't get to have that.
So Seeger with some of that old-time rock and roll.
And let's see if Campagna could shake, rattle, and roll his way into the end zone. 8:58 left to go.
3rd and 7 from the 15. Campagna looking right, throwing right. He's got a completion.
He
and
downed
they're saying
himself.
His knee was down after he caught the ball.
He caught the ball, went down to one knee to secure the catch. You know what? Better that you secure the catch and stay in the field versus getting a turnover. So that was a smart decision. Make sure you get the ball in your hands. We've seen too many times in the first half where people have looked to the end zone instead of catching the ball. This is what you need to do to win games. The Bulldogs are back on the field, and the Wolverines are in trouble.
1st and goal from the 8. Campagna hands off to Brady Dolan. He's in for the score.
Brady Dolan, cold-blooded, getting it into the end zone, cuts up the middle and slices through the defense like a hot knife through butter. Take a look. Snap, and there he is. Oh, cuts right up the middle, and then gets through about 2 tackles and dives himself right in the end zone.
A couple beautiful cuts on that play by the senior. Number 2, Brady Dolan. He puts Lindy on the scoreboard for the first time. Pending the extra point, they'll go up 7-3 here.
And this is what Newfield didn't need.
Timeout, Lindy.
This is what Newfield did not need to happen. You know, when you said Coach Lombardo wanted his team to be relaxed, easygoing, taking breaths, relaxing, this is why. Because when you take that relaxation and combine it with emotion, with heart, determination, and focus, these are the results you get. And Campagna finally started to open it up with the passing game.
And these are high school kids, John. It's normal. They'd be hyped up for this season opener.
Yep.
Look how nice and relaxed, how calm he is talking to them, to your point. And I think they've come out and responded and exploited a couple holes in Newfield's defense early on here in the second half.
And take a look at the body language of Newfield here. They knew they were up 3-0 in a game where, on the line of scrimmage, let's be real, they've been thoroughly dominated. But they've went out there and they still have heart. And they're playing hard. But they look stiff. They look like, they're too focused. They need to have fun out there. They need to realize this is fun. You have to go out there and have fun.
Puts up the extra point. Campagna holds it. Extra point is good. Bulldogs on top 7-3.
And that's what the home field advantage is all about.
We've got a Newfield player shaking up on the field.
That would be... Oh, and he's still down. It's one of the big guys.
So we talked about it setting up this game, John, that Newfield, a little bit of a smaller squad, not just in terms of the size guys on the line, but in terms of number of guys. But as you mentioned, they've really been holding their own against Lindy here in the trenches in this game.
They have been, and I give Newfield a lot of credit. But what you're seeing from the Bulldogs right now is game plan working to perfection. Grind it out. You might give up a bad player or two to Newfield, but in the third and fourth quarter, you see the body language of the Bulldogs, nice, relaxed, and then you see the body language for the Wolverines. Huffing, puffing, little more tired, little more beat up, and now you're going to see what the Bulldogs offense can do in the fourth quarter.
Mazziotti to kick it off for the Bulldogs, who finally are on the scoreboard and finally on top in this game at 7-3. Mazziotti sends a low line drive. Smith on the return. He gets it out across the 20, close to the 25.
I think he got it to the 25 actually on the dive at the end. But you know what? Smith averted disaster because there was a tip on the ball that he got. He picked it up, made sure he secured the football, and then he took it 15 yards upfield when he had players all around him. Smith is a star, and the Bulldogs need to watch out for him because this is the time of the game when the momentum has shifted that you need to rely on your stars. Friette and Smith, look out for those two kids right now. And Sullivan, even though he hasn't scored touchdowns, he's been running an effective game. He's been getting the ball where he needs to get it to stop him. Unfortunately, it went off of Smith's hands. Went off his hands.
2nd and 10, Newfield. Newfield's come out bombing away here.
Both teams have bombed away.
First possession.
Both teams have bombed it away.
2nd and 10. Smith will throw again. Or I should say Sullivan is looking for McDaniels. McDaniels got behind the defense, and again he overthrew him. Sullivan's been long on 3 throws in a row.
Take a look at the Bulldogs' defense. They are telling the Wolverines, beat us down the field, because there's not a Bulldog further than 10 yards from the line of scrimmage. They do not believe that the Wolverines can operate a long passing game. Take a look. The Wolverines literally had many players towards the line of scrimmage, and their receivers are beating others. They're just not getting the ball to them.
Sullivan looking to put it up again. He'll scramble down the right sideline. He's got the first down and more, and he runs out of bounds close to the 50.
That's about a 14, 15-yard gain. Sullivan took a look at the field. He saw the hole, and he went for it. You have to make quick decisions. Look at this. Running down the field, look at that speed, and then cuts right outside to avoid a big hit.
Picks up a 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. I thought he was closer to midfield, but he'll settle for that. He hands off, short gain up the middle.
Say about 2 yards.
The hole closes very quickly. Good work by the Bulldog defensive line.
Sullivan took it himself again for the second play in a row. 3 passes, didn't work out. Sullivan changes up his strategy, goes with his legs.
So a gain of 2 on that last play. 2nd and 8 from the 44. Down to 7 minutes left in the third. Bulldogs leading Newfield 7-3. Fakes the handoff, puts it up right side. Petit Frere, and he's got the first down.
That was great play on the Bulldogs' defense part. They got to the quarterback. They read the play action. Only problem is Sullivan did a much better job here. Look at this. Throws off his back foot, gets the open man on the sideline, and then he breaks 3 tackles and gets the first down. Look at Frere. Petit Frere doing it all today. He's been the featured wideout today for Newfield.
So now Newfield on the Lindy side of the field. 1st and 10 from the Lindy 48, down
The
to
Bulldogs.
6-12.
The Bulldogs must be getting tired of the Wolverines on their side of the field. It seems almost every other play, the Wolverines are in enemy territory.
Now Dylan Smith to this side, A.J. Sullivan in the slot. Here's Sullivan left side. He's spun around and knocked down after a gain of 4.
You know what? Sullivan has been effective with his legs. He's discovered that he could go down the sideline, he could run it up the middle, and now the Wolverines are doing what the Bulldogs did in the first half. 2, 3, 4 yards. Both teams have been trying to grind out the other team's O-line and D-line, and now you're starting to see the effects of that on the offensive side of the ball.
2nd and 7 from the 45, 5:20 left in the third. Bulldogs on top of the Wolverines, 7-3. Sullivan's under center. He hands off, and they're right there to greet him. Beautiful tackle that time by number 77, Mike Seeger.
Mike Seeger is sacking quarterbacks, catching passes, and running all over the field. And look at this, right up the middle, blocked him. Nobody was there. And Sullivan did sideline, but unfortunately, take a look here. On the replay, he snaps the ball, fake handoff. Had all the time in the world, but he throws it into double coverage. I don't understand why you throw it into double coverage when you have so much time. You didn't have to make that decision. You got to look down, see your second route, your third route, your hot route.
3rd and 8. 2 receivers near side. Now Dylan Smith motions it out. They give him the pitch, and he's undercut by Carson.
Smith had a receiver or two to throw it to down in the field. You saw that in the first half. The play the first time was Smith running and then throwing the ball once he realized he had no lanes. This time he had the lane down the right side, but the Bulldogs plugged it up very, very quickly. Great job by the Bulldogs defense.
Chris Carson with a nice tackle that time. He took the legs right from under the ball carrier, who was Dylan Smith. They're trying any way
Carson,
they can, John, to get Smith the ball.
Carson, we told all of you to look out for him on the offensive side of the ball. But today, Carson has been a defensive star.
We're going to step away and be back with more action right after this. This is T&D Sports Video Production.
Jump shot, leave your knee shot? We've got specialists for that. Face down after that face off? We've got specialists for that. Half pipe, leave you full of pain? We've got specialists for that. Orlin Cohen's top orthopedic team has specialized expertise and extensive training from the nation's premier programs in sports medicine, knee, shoulder, hip, spine, hand, foot, and ankle, so you can feel better, faster.
Experience. Trusted. Proven. Excellence. Over 20 years of professional sports video production. The industry standard. T&D Sports Video Production. Whether it's a single game, a whole season, or a
4th and 6 for Newfield from the 33. Let's see what they have drawn up right here. Sullivan. He's picked off down the left sideline. One man to beat at the 20. Touchdown, Bulldogs! It's Carson!
Carson, cut the play. You've seen Sullivan go to this twice. This same out route. Third time, not a charm for Sullivan, not a charm for the Wolverines. Carson having the defensive game of his life. Look at that. And look at the speed. Look at how fast and how long his strides are. That guy just went down the field. Looked like Usain Bolt running down the side of the sideline.
So it'll be Mazziotti for the extra point.
This is where experience.
Extra point is up. It's good. Lindy on top, 14-3.
This is where experience comes in. And you said it at the break. Lombardo, relaxed. Adler, intense. Look at the results. This is what happens when you play relaxed, disciplined football.
Chris Carson was timing Sullivan, finally jumped the route, got himself in the perfect spot, and it was off to the races down the far sideline.
And we were supposed to watch Carson for his offense. Look at what he's done defensively. He has broken up third down plays that would have given Newfield touchdowns. He has tipped passes, and now he's intercepted a pass. I think Carson's been involved in like 5 stops this game.
Welcome to the jungle indeed. Newfield thought that they could stay on the field with Lindy, and they did for a while, John. They hung in there. They were bad. This is where we're going to see if the Bulldogs can move the ball, move the chains, and eat some clock here. 2nd and 8 from the 44. Throw deep down the right sideline. We've got a flag coming in.
And that's interference all day long. Number 4, Sean Sullivan, the quarterback. Look at the replay here. Ball snapped. Great time. Had a lot of time to throw. Bombs it down the field. And Sullivan didn't even look back for the football. He just ran forward and tried to contact the receiver. They're going to throw that flag every time.
Capagna really sold that play action very, very well. He faked me out. I thought he handed it off.
Capagna's been doing that all game long. The only difference here is that Newfield is tired and the Bulldogs seem just as fresh as they did in the first quarter.
1st and 10, Lindy. From the Newfield 41, they swing it. Brady Dolan, he's banged down, but not until he picks up 5 or 6 yards.
But that's what happens when you set teams up. If you're going running play, the defense is going to anticipate run and then you go over to the top. If you go pass, and then all of a sudden you do a little dink and dunk, that's going to be 8-9 yards because the defense is expecting you to go deep.
Officials timeout.
We got about
Dolan
10 minutes
looked
left to
like he
go
was
in the
shaking
game.
up for a moment.
We got about 10 minutes left to go in the game. This is TD Sports. I am John Schiavone. This is Mike Trezza, the voice of TD Sports High School Football Game of the Week. It's the Wolverines at the Bulldogs. And even though the Wolverines are down, 11 points is not insurmountable in 10 minutes. All they need is one play, one big play on offense or on defense, and the momentum could switch. So you all need to stay tuned because this game is not over yet, Mr. Trezza, not at all.
So 2nd and 8, Bulldogs from the 39. I thought that was a bit of a longer game, but they only picked up 2. Nice handoff to Artali. Artali's got the first down and more as he sheds a couple tacklers.
Artali had the leg injury in the beginning of the game. You know what? It hasn't affected him at all. He is going up the field. He's cutting up. He's been doing a great job being a change of pace back.
So now Lindy approaching the red zone again. They're looking for another score
You know,
to deliver the knockout punch.
the knockout punch would be the touchdown. Here's the thing. The other knockout punch is if Lindy takes 4 or 5 minutes, whether they score or not.
It's Capagna. He gets out of bounds.
Once again, Capagna using his legs, seeing a hole, going for it, gaining 5 or 6 yards. He's not like Sullivan, where Sullivan's main playmaking ability comes from his legs. Capagna has great field vision. He understands what's going on the other side of the ball, and he takes advantage of it every time, makes the right call.
Picked up 7 on that play. 2nd and 3 from the 21. Here's Artali. Gets the sideline, gets the first down, and gets the Bulldogs into the red zone.
You know what? 3 yards, that's all you needed. Even though the Bulldogs gave it the block, look at this. And, yeah, they were on him, but Artali having enough intelligence to take what the defense gave him and get the first down. You don't have to do everything special. You're winning the game. You need to run clock. The name of the game is don't turn it over, don't get knocked down, and get the first down. That's the name of the game.
Brady Dolan, who was shaken up earlier, comes back in. 1st and 10. Bulldogs now at the 14 of Newfield. Handoff up the middle. Short gain. 3, maybe 4.
You know, that play was a little weird because a couple of the Bulldogs players ran into each other a little bit. They saw a little traffic at the line of scrimmage. They were lucky to get out and get a couple yards out of that. But once again, you know, just a little bit of a concentration thing. They got to understand they can't run into each other. They have to know their spots and know where they're supposed to be. But then again, the clock is running. So it's all good for the Bulldogs here. The Wolverines need to get a stop, a turnover, something.
2nd and 8. Now from the 12. Capagna. His pass is batted down. Number 66, Jaden Forth with the bat down.
And that was created by Sullivan rushing into the backfield unblocked. Campagna avoided him. But then look at this. Take a look at the play again. Sullivan crossing over in the backfield and watching Campagna. And they run through, almost gets him, and then that sets up for number 66 to get the job done. Number 66 is Jaden Forth, defensive end.
Third and 8 from the 12.
This is the most important play for Lindy's defense.
Campagna looking sideline, delivers the ball. Touchdown, Lindy!
Campagna does the job. Again, he takes what the defense gives him and he punches it in the end zone. And at this point, this might be the final nail in the coffin with 8 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. But, Mike, we've seen crazier things happen in high school football. The momentum could shift. 8 minutes is a long time. So the Wolverines should not give up yet. But I'd say they got a long road to hoe to get back in this game.
Extra point by Mazziotti is good. Bulldogs up 21-3.
And Mike, all game long, I've been saying the work that the Bulldogs have done in the trenches would translate to the second half and the fourth quarter. And look at it. The Wolverines, even though they put up a good fight, they got tired. They could not match the physicality. And they played the Bulldogs game the whole game long. And this is going to give the Bulldogs a great feeling and momentum when they go on the road. Let's give you a reminder of where these teams are playing next week. Lindenhurst will be at Bellport. Newfield will be at North Babylon. So both teams on the road. Both teams need this one. And do you know what? You can't count the Wolverines out yet. Smith is a dynamic playmaker. If Sullivan can get the ball down the field, you see he has the arm. If he gets a couple of accurate throws, a couple of touchdowns, we're talking a different game.
Mazziotti to kick off. Lindy now up 21-3. 8 minutes left in the game. Kickoff is deep. It's fielded at the 15. Nice return out across the 35, and then finally gang tackle.
That's Pierre Petit. The other star for the Wolverines who's been getting it done all game long. But now, this is where Coach Adler had said that his team needs to learn how to play with their backs against the wall and not give up in situations where they're down by 18 points in the fourth quarter. This is still doable. And the Wolverines, you've seen it all game long, they have the offensive talent to rip off 3 touchdowns in 4 minutes. They have the ability to do it. They just have to get the ball down the field, and Sullivan has to hit his receivers. They've been getting open. It's time for Sullivan to hit them.
1st and 10 from the 37. Sullivan, Petit Frere, hook and ladder play, right side, and that yields exactly about 2 yards.
You know, I'm not even sure it yields 2. I think his knee went down at 1 yard. All of that effort to gain only 1 yard. That's what happens when the defense pushes the offensive line backwards and changes the trajectory of the play. Look at this. Look at the defensive line's push. That offensive line did not hold up, and that's why this play broke apart.
They're
Great
really
job on
trying
the part of
hard
the
to get
Wolverines.
Dylan Smith the ball any way they can. Sullivan keeps it, takes off up the middle, close to the first down, and that second effort might have gained it for him, but it looks like he's just about a yard short.
You know what the problem is? I've seen a weakness in Lindy's defense. It's up the middle. But for some reason, the Wolverines have not been able to expose it. You need to send receivers up the middle. You need to send them in the slot. Because right now, the Bulldogs are covering the outside because they know the clock is running. The place you could get yards is up the middle of the field. Let's see if Sullivan figures that out.
1st and 10. Now from the 48. So Sullivan did get enough. Takes the snap out of the gun. Looking left, throwing left, and he can't connect.
Two things. Number one, that pass was a little too low. But number two, James Morris should have caught that ball. That was easily catchable. It was right where only he could get it. That was an easy few yards that was missed out on.
But you know what, though, John? That's not going to really get you much. I mean, you're down to 6:26. You're down 18 points. So, I mean, what is that play really going to do for you? Get you 3-4 yards, tops?
Momentum is momentum at this point. You know what? You're down 21-3. Your first job is to get that first score. Once you get that first score and you're only down by like 10 or 11, then you could start to think about other things. But right now, they need consistency.
2nd and 10. Sullivan overthrows Smith. Sullivan has been off the mark high all night long.
You know, I think high was the only place he could have thrown it to Smith at this point. Look at the replay. So Sullivan takes the snap. You see the pressure coming right at him. And then he does overthrow Smith, but he's throwing it to triple, double, quadruple coverage. And he has receivers wide open. And he's not seeing them because he's not checking his secondary routes.
3rd and 10 from the 48, 6:20 left in the game. Lindy on top, 21-3. Sullivan looking to scramble, and they've got him by the ankles. Nice tackle by the middle of that Lindy front. It's number 33, Nick Rose with the tackle.
But Sullivan did a great job there, and I'll tell you why. Look at the replay. Now, once again, the Lindy D-line gets pushed. But look at Sullivan. He realizes where the pressure comes from, and he minimizes the loss on the sack. It still gives the Wolverines a chance. 11 yards is gettable versus 15, 16 yards. They're going to have to go for it on 4th down anyway. They have no choice. But at least Sullivan made it somewhat manageable versus nearly impossible.
4th and 11 from the 47, 5.5 left. Clock is running. Newfield trails Lindy by 18.
They had to take their time coming out of there. They have to get the right play up. Last chance.
Sullivan rolling left, now throwing left on the sideline. Did he make the catch?
I don't think it matters either way. Even if he made the catch, it's not enough to get the first down.
Dylan Smith did make the catch, but they're saying Lindy will take over on downs, and Lindy will take over on downs.
Well, because that was a 7-yard gain instead of an 11-yard gain. You see, but if Sullivan and the offensive line were reading the defensive schemes better, you wouldn't have had situations where the D-line is rushing through. Both teams are playing very hard. They are playing extremely well. Newfield, in my opinion, for being down 21-3, they're going out. They're still giving a fight to Lindy. If you didn't know the score of this game, you would think it's a one-score game with the way that both these teams are playing. And the back and forth that took place in the first half, Newfield has some good things to take away from this game, truthfully. They really do. They showed that, at least for 2 quarters, they could hang with one of the top teams in Division II high school football in Suffolk County. Newfield looks like they're on a good path here.
The pitch near side, Brady Dolan. He tries to shake one tackler. He can't shake the second one. Gavin Smith brings him down by the ankles.
Gavin Smith, the two-way player, the wideout and the safety. Take a look at Gavin Smith here. They get the handoff. Nice little fake to the handoff right there. And Gavin Smith, that's what you call wrap tackling. Get your arms around a body part and drag that body part to the ground. Because once that part goes to the ground, the rest of the player will as well. Great job of tackling by Gavin Smith.
Dolan picked up 4 on the carry. That'll bring up 2nd and 6. We're down to 4.5 left in the game. Bulldogs with the ball in the 21-3 lead. Capagna working out of the gun. Handoff. Right side. It is Gio Tarte. And Tarte might have lost a yard or 2.
I think you got it back to the line of scrimmage. Yeah, they're placing it right on the line of scrimmage, maybe like a half a yard gain. But once again, this is what you do if you're the Lindy Bulldogs. They've played this game the whole time, even when they were down 3-0, their way. It was their game. You notice the Wolverines were uncomfortable because the Bulldogs, the more experienced team, controlled pace of play. That's something the Wolverines have to learn, but they will.
3rd and 10 from the 47. Capagna puts it up. Oh, almost a one-handed catch on the near sideline. Let's see who that is. That is...
Take a look at the replay here. We take a look here. James Mara with the stop, but look at the pass. Good pass, but Mara with the arm in front, and he was looking back at the quarterback. That's what you do when you want to defend a play like that. You have to look at the quarterback and the ball, and you have to know where your receiver is and where the ball is going. And that's how you can get a stop like that without getting a pass interference flag thrown.
He was trying to get Christian Aquino, couldn't get it to him, and Lindy also committed a penalty on the play, so they're going to be way backed up. It's going to be 4th and 25, and they're going to have to kick it away. We've got another flag coming in late.
But Lindy took a good 5 minutes off the clock. We started the drive at about, what,
Illegal
8 minutes, 8 minutes 30?
substitution is the call.
We started this drive at, what, 8 minutes 30 seconds? 5 minutes for Lindy, basically doing nothing but running plays and dink and dunk passes.
So that'll bring it back to a 4th and 20 from the 37. They'll kick it away. Punt sails out of bounds inside the 45-yard line at just about the 46. So that's where the Wolverines will take over.
You know, the Wolverines are still playing very hard. If you look at that punt, you take a look, I honestly think it might have been slightly altered because you saw the Wolverine get in the backfield and interfere with the punt a little bit. And in a way, it works for the Wolverines and do a return. All they have to do is literally let the ball run out of bounds without more than 6 or 7 seconds going off the clock. And now let's see what the Wolverines can do. The game might be all but over, but you know what? You never know. Let's see if the Wolverines can still play with the same intensity they've been playing with all game long. Backup QB in. Backup QB in, that's number 10, Matt Evers.
Evers looking left, puts it up, and nobody home. Double coverage. He was looking to get it to Dylan Smith, but that pass was not even close.
But once again, another player wide open missed. Instead, they're throwing into double and triple coverage. Ajay Sullivan was wide open, running along the 20-yard line with no one around him. You miss that, you go to Smith. I understand Smith is a star, but if you have a wide open guy with nobody between him and the end zone, that's something you got to go for, especially if you're down by 18.
2nd and 10 from the 46, 3:06 left in the game. Bulldogs on top of Newfield, 21-3 from here at Lindy Middle School, Mike Trezza, John Chavoni. Evers, looking right sideline. He overthrows the receiver trying to get it to McDaniels.
The only thing is, at least, you know what? You put the ball in a place where only your receiver could get it. There was no chance for the Bulldogs to intercept that ball, and it was basically a row-less throw. If it was caught, that's yardage. If not, it's a out of bounds, third down, still 3 minutes left to go. Only about 20 seconds taken off the clock so far.
Under 3 minutes left. Newfield trying to put a touchdown on the board.
Sullivan back in.
Sullivan looking left. High throw is hauled in. Nice moves along the left sideline. That's A.J. Sullivan with the reception, and he gets a nice gain.
You know, when you see plays like that happen, where the offense is deep in the backfield, and it literally takes the receiver 10 yards to gain 4, that's how you know you're losing the battle in the trenches. The Bulldogs' defensive line has been controlling the pace of play all game long. Excellent job by the Bulldogs.
Timeout, Newfield. So, John, you mentioned next week's games a little bit earlier. Newfield comes back to Western Suffolk to face North Babylon. Never an easy game, never an easy place to play. And Lindy travels out to Central Suffolk to Belport, which is the #1 team in this division. We're going to step away and be back with more action right after this.
Jump shot, leave your knee shot? We've got specialists for that. Face down after that face off? We've got specialists for that. Half pipe, leave you full of pain? We've got specialists for that. Orlin Cohen's top orthopedic team has specialized expertise and extensive training from the nation's premier programs in sports medicine, knee, shoulder, hip, spine, hand, foot, and ankle, so you can feel better faster.
Who was the first TD for Brady Dolan? It was Dolan.
Stop being strict. What are you doing? I'm still sitting in the picture. The game's
There's another interception, and it's going, and touchdown! Chris Carson again. This is Carson's second run back for a touchdown off an interception.
Extra point is good. Lindy now up 28-3. So Carson with his second interception return here in the second half puts this game away for the Bulldogs.
Carson has been everywhere on the defensive side of the ball. We told you to watch out for him on offense. We neglected to mention he's one of the best defensive players in Division II in Suffolk County. And 14 points on the defensive side of the ball. Unbelievable effort on the part of Carson. He's the player of the game today.
28-3 Lindy. Approaching 2 minutes left in the game.
Let's go over the scoring drives. In the second quarter, Newfield had a 3-point field goal to end the first half. And then starting in the second half, a 28-0 run. 2 interception run backs for touchdowns for Carson, an 8-yard run for Dolan, and I believe another reception for a touchdown thrown by the quarterback. And, well, you see what happens in the second half.
Mazziotti with a strong kick into the end zone for a touchback. They'll bring it out to the 20.
Smith doing the smart thing, letting it go. And let's see what kind of energy the Wolverines are going to bring out there. You know they do need to score just to give themselves some confidence to go out on the road next week and possibly get themselves a win. But we saw a lot of good things from the Wolverines today. You saw that they could hang with a bigger team in the trenches, and you saw that their receivers have the ability to blast past any double or triple coverage they get it. It's just timing, focus, discipline, and control. I think I would love to see these two teams play again way on down the line when Newfield, is a little more comfortable with each other and a little more comfortable with the style of play that you see from teams like the Bulldogs, teams like Bellport.
So now Newfield is going to have to bomb away, trying to get back into it. 1st and 10 from the 25. 2:07 left in the game.
Evers back at quarterback.
Evers looking right, throwing right, swing pass. He's got it to Deliot, and Deliot picks up 6 or 7.
At this point, trying to win the game is almost silly. At this point, if I'm the Wolverines, I'm going out there and I'm running plays that I wanted to get done today, that I wanted to see work out, because you need to take that momentum into next week.
Evers on the move to his left. Fakes the throw, keeps it, loses the ball. But I think the ball rolled out of bounds.
He actually
will keep it.
Yeah, he actually grabbed it when he was on the ground and the ball was on the ground. He grabbed it and got his own fumble back. 2-3 yard gain off of that.
3rd and 11 from the 24. We're down to a minute left in the game.
This was a statement win for the Lindy Bulldogs. 28-0 run in the second half.
Fires it over the middle. It's caught by Mara. Nice gain on that play.
Evers put the ball right in the middle of the field. He put it right where it needed to be, where only his receiver can get it, and he shredded the zone up the middle.
Evers clocks it. 32 seconds left.
I think it's important for the Wolverines to score here. I think it's very important because, like I've been saying, they need to take the momentum into next week. And also, it shows a bit of pride on the Wolverines' part that they're playing this game hard until the last second. And also, you might have something here in Evers at quarterback.
1st and 10, Newfield from the 44. Evers looking deep, throwing deep. Got Dylan Smith. Smith is across the 20 down to the 15 before he's brought down.
And the Wolverines call the timeout. And Smith, once again, has been playing great. And look at Evers. He's placing it where only his receiver can get it. Right in the breadbasket every single time.
Evers spikes it to stop the clock again. 18 seconds left. At this point, they just want to get a touchdown, get on the board, and as you mentioned, get a little momentum to go into the next game.
But the one thing I'm looking at here that is the most interesting thing to me about the Wolverines is the play of Evers. Mr. Trezza, do you think Evers has a future as a starter for the Wolverines here?
Well, a little soon to tell that on just one series. But let's see if he can get them in right here. 1st and 10 from the 16. 18 seconds left. Into the end zone. Overthrows his receiver. He's looking for McDaniels.
Double coverage. That's the thing. The Wolverines throw into double coverage too much. They needed to take a look at the other receivers that are running routes. At the second they can start to read their checkdowns and get to their checkdowns, they're going to be scoring a lot of points, trust me.
2nd and 10 from the 16. 13 seconds left. Newfield trying to get something on the board. Other than that first half field goal. Evers. They've got pressure on him. He gets to the sideline and he'll get one more play.
You know, smart decision by Evers. Get out of bounds. Don't take a sack. Don't get hit. Don't lose yards. Don't give up a turnover. And you know what? I think it's important for the Bulldogs here as well. Even though they won the game pretty handily, I think their defense needs to hold this stop. This is great practice for both teams in end-of-the-game scenarios. Can you hold up? You know what? Let's find out.
3rd and 10. High snap. Handled by Evers. Looking end zone. And he overthrows the receiver. And that's going to do it. So final score from here at Lindenhurst. Lindenhurst 28. Newfield 3.
This was a statement win for the Lindenhurst High School Bulldogs. But even though the Wolverines lost 28-3, does not tell the story of this game. In the first half, even though the Wolverines felt like they had their backs against the wall, they managed to hang and hold this destructive Bulldogs offense to 0 points. All they had to do was break a couple of tackles, and I think the Wolverines would have had 21 points. I think there was 3 times in this game where Carson saved touchdowns.
So that's going to do it from here at Lindenhurst Middle School, where once again the final score is 28-3, Lindenhurst over Newfield. Our director is Tom Bruno. Our technical director, Jamie Burkhart. Our cameraman, Dave Stempel, Evan Laurie. For everybody here at T&D Sports Video Productions, including John Giavone, this is Mike Trezza saying thank you for watching. We will see you next Friday night from Massapequa on the T&D Sports Video Orlin Cohen High School Football Game of the Week.